Hey guys, what's up? It's Sean, Autotopia LA. Today I'm here with Chris, who drove all the way down from the Bay Area to be part of the quarantine cruise yesterday. And I love that you stayed, an extra day so we could get the opportunity to shoot your El Camino. I love this thing.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, this is a great experience, so thanks for having me.
Awesome. So it's a
67.
It's a 7, okay. Yeah. And have you had it a long time?
Yeah, 22 years. This was actually the first car I bought.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my mom looked at me and said, if you want to drive, go get a job. So I got a job, started saving money, and as soon as this car was available, I bought it.
I love that, man. That's really cool.
Yeah.
And when you got it, was it just like a bone stock 67 El Camino?
Pretty much. It had a very mild 350 in it, a turbo 350 trans, and the guy had actually put a posi in it. So it wasn't too bad, but it was still pretty mild. I mean, maybe a 300 horsepower type of setup. And that didn't last long. In typical fashion, more power, and when you're 16, you got enough testosterone for about 5 people. So got a cam, got a bigger intake, got a bigger carburetor, bigger headers, and that wasn't enough. So then I had a buddy who was selling a 427. I bought his 427 out of his Camaro and his Turbo 400 that went with it, and rebuilt it, freshened it up, took a Turbo 400 and put reverse manual valve body, trans brake in it.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And I realized I had a lot more motor than I had chassis. And at that point, it was time to put a cage in the car. And so I had a good friend whose dad was going to go out of town, and he had a nice TIG welder that we could use. So I bought a kit from Chris Alston, and it was a very generic kit. And we bought a tube notcher, and me and him, over like 3 weeks while his dad was out of town, notched, went over to another buddy's and bent tubes that weren't the way we wanted them to, and caged the whole car in the backyard, got it all leveled out, and then I started doing some drag racing with it from there.
Wow.
But I put another engine in it after the 427 because that's, once again, not enough power.
Oh my God.
So I had another guy build, Steve Schmidt build a 523 cubic inch dart block, dart heads, forge rotating everything.
Gotcha.
Big roller cabinet, and it made 900 on the motor and 1200 with nitrous.
Oh my God, dude. Is that what's in here now?
No. And,
no, God.
So this car is like on its 3rd iteration of life. And, life changes you. And, I've got a house, I've got kids now. And the car was really radical, it was really fun. And I couldn't share it with my son. And it really bothered me that I couldn't share my hobby with my son.
Yeah.
So
because it was just too extreme.
Yeah, it was one of those things. He heard it from the back of the house, and he couldn't be in the garage. I couldn't take him for a ride.
Yeah.
And so I looked at it and I reevaluated it, and I decided to sell everything, pretty much in the entire, except for the body and the frame. And I started over. So now it's got an LS3 in it with a T56 transmission. It's got a nice aluminum drive shaft, Mark Williams rear end in it. Got QA1 coilovers all the way around now. It's got 4-wheel disc brakes. 6 pistons in the front, 4 pistons in the rear. They're all Wilwoods. Put some big welds on it all the way around. It's got 18 8.5s in the front on a 245. Then we got 305s on a 45 sidewall in the rear. So we got a bit of meat in the back still.
Yeah.
And so yeah, this car has continued to evolve. So I converted it from an automatic car to a manual car. It's got a hydraulic clutch in it, but it's still rather bare bones. It's trying to keep everything really simple and very minimalist.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
can we pop that?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Take a look? So is it a built LS3?
So it started as a 525 crate engine, and that once again wasn't enough. There's a pattern here, right?
You got a thing.
And I drove it for a little while, and I wanted to go with a rather simple looking fuel injection. So this does have multi-port fuel injection from Phytech. They were really nice to give me this setup. Yeah. But it still has kind of the traditional old school look, and it's got big coils on there, but it's got a Texas Speed Stage 3 cam in it. Okay. So when we went to the dyno 2 weeks ago, it ended up putting 538 down at the wheels, which I was actually surprised. I was hoping for maybe high 4s. 5 would be like woohoo. Yeah. And the first hard pull was 511, and Jeremy looked at me and said, "There's more." I'm like, "Go for it." I'm here, right? So sure enough, he went in there and did a little of his magic and put another degree of timing in it and let her rip.
And you're at 538.
538, and he looked at me and says, "We can go a little further." And I said, this is good enough
We're
for
good.
right now.
We're good. Yeah. What are your control arms here?
So there are tubular control arms from Global West,
Okay.
and then I've got the QA1 coilovers in there that they have set up for these A-arms. So it works out really well. They're double adjustable.
And I love those weld wheels. They're so clean.
Yeah, thank you.
And they make a wheel that you can go drive the hell out of your car.
Yeah,
and they're
this
gonna
is still
deal
a
with
forged
it.
wheel. You know,
Yeah.
everyone talks about, oh, I gotta have a forged wheel. Well, I've got one, and I didn't have to spend, you know, $7,000 buying forged wheels. Not that there's anything wrong with it. There are a lot of beautiful wheels out there, and a lot of people make really great ones. But this is a great wheel, great bang for your buck. And for me, it just happened to be the style I was looking for. I really wanted to keep it simple. I didn't want a lot of different colors, so black and silver worked really well. The whole car is pretty much black and silver.
The cage work just blows my mind though. I mean, this is just so cool how it drops in, it comes back out, it comes through the glass. I can't imagine.
Yeah, so that's a
was an
Lexan
easy-
window. No, so to do that was a bit of a chore. So we started with a plexiglass window and just roughed it out. And I tacked the X-bar and the back long struts in. And then we kind of fine-tuned it and figured out what we wanted. I made another one out of plexiglass once I thought I had it right. And then use that as a template to make it out of Lexan.
Your choices are really cool on here, man. I love how clean this. I always call them cars. I don't know what. It's like we were saying outside. It's a friggin' mullet.
Yeah, it's the muscle car mullet.
That's what it
You
is.
love it or you hate it, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, I call it a car all the time. Some people call it a truck. Hey, you pick.
Yeah, exactly.
It's an age-old debate.
I just can't bring myself to calling these trucks because they don't. I mean, I know that they can function as a truck. For me, it's still a car.
So
I
legally,
guess.
it's registered as a commercial vehicle truck.
Oh, it is.
Yes.
Okay.
So it has. I mean, if you look at the plates, they're actually commercial plates. They're original black plates.
Oh,
but
they sure are.
But they're commercial plates.
That's funny.
But yeah, I mean, it's built on a sedan chassis. It's got the same clip, same doors as a Chevelle. It shares almost everything with a Chevelle from the front half.
Yeah.
So is it one more or the other? I don't know.
Yeah. And because this thing makes a great tone. What are you using for exhaust and mufflers and stuff?
Yeah, it's all stainless steel, 3-inch, and it's actually just a builder kit from Magnaflow.
Okay.
And so I put it, came with a little generic X pipe, and I kind of shaped, cut, fit, TIG everything up, and kind of made it fit the way I wanted it to. And
Hey, you're not a builder by trade, right?
No, I'm not. This is just a hobby.
Wow, man. I mean, you've gone really far being a hobbyist, dude. Really.
I will say, like a lot of car guys, if you're passionate, you put a lot into it, and so I've been fortunate enough to have good friends that could show me things and kind of lead me along the way, and I haven't been afraid to just try something.
Right.
And I haven't been afraid to break it. And a lot of stuff, it's like, well, it's metal. I'll weld it back together.
Right. Well, man, I think we need to go take it for a little ride. I'm curious to, I'm curious to feel what this 538 at the wheels
That's right.
feels like.
Well, let's do it.
Cool. Awesome. All right, you guys, before we go for a drive, we've got merch. ATLAmerch.com. We've got really cool shirts, hats, stickers, and I absolutely love our keychains. Now, let's go for a drive. That sucker pulls, and I know you're barely digging into it.
Yeah, maybe about half throttle or so. I mean, but we're out on the street having fun, not trying to do anything foolish.
Yeah, of course. No doubt, man.
But yeah, she likes to grip and rip for what it is.
Yeah. I just love, I think it's a really neat story, man, that you've had this for 22 years.
Yep, drove it to high school.
Multiple versions of it.
Yeah.
From the original 350 up to where you're at now. It's really a cool story behind this. Well, you really got a lot of brake on here.
6-piston, Willwoods in the front and 4 pistons in the rear.
Yeah.
On a car that weighs, 3,300 pounds, that's plenty of brakes.
Well, you really do have good ground clearance. I'm watching you go in and out of these driveways with total confidence.
I spent a lot of time in the winter when I was doing this to make sure everything was tucked up as high as I could get it.
That's smart. Wow, this thing really pulls, dude. I tell you, man, my favorite horsepower range is around where you're at on this car. It really is. It does all the stuff I want, but I've driven the 1,000+ horsepower vehicles, and I gotta admit, man, other than just flat out fun spinning tires,
they're a handful. They're fun.
They make me nervous. They genuinely do. All right, you guys, that's it for our shoot of Chris's, as you can tell, very badass 67 El Camino. I've seen this a few times out at a couple of events lately, and there's a few things that just really stand out. Obviously, the satin finish on this stands out. The stance on it. I love the Weld racing wheels. Gotta be honest, man, the thing that makes me look over and over and over at this is that cage work that he did. And to hear that Chris did this himself, the multiple versions of this car through the years, 22 years of owning it, just blown away and really stoked that not only did he come down for the cruise and have some fun with us yesterday, but that he stuck around for today so we could all enjoy his completely badass El Camino. So that's it for today's shoot, you guys. As always, thanks for hanging and watching and supporting what we do. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you in the next episode. All right, man. Later.